Hi, this is Carole Baskin, and this is Cat Chat. Today we have some of the SkipAHolics that will be joining us, and we've had a number of technical issues, as we always do with Google Hangouts, but hopefully they will be joining me very shortly, and we're going to talk about how the SkipAHolics got their name and what they do for Big Cat Rescue.
That's Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca. I'm sorry, I have a paper
Hi,
list
Carole.
here in front of me.
That's okay.
Thank you for joining us on Cat Chat
I'm the
today.
one. It's my pleasure.
And is your cat still in the room?
Yeah, I was going to say my cat is still on the back of my chair, but I don't think you can see her.
I just see kind of a ghost of a shadow back there. Little ears.
Let me see. I'm turning the chair. Can you?
I think you need to tip your camera down a little bit to see her.
Talk to
Oh,
me.
there she is.
Here, I'm going to move it for a second. Say hi.
Oh, how beautiful.
He looks very bored by the proceedings.
Well, this has been quite a challenge.
I spend a lot of time in this chair because I work at home.
What kind of work do you do?
It has.
What kind of work do you do?
I am actually a private investigator.
Really?
So I'm a PI. Yeah. So I go travel around and do interviews with people or other types of investigations, and then I come back here and I sit at this desk all day and write reports. So a lot of the time when I'm sitting here working on reports, my cat hangs out on the back of my chair.
Wow. Back when I was a kid, my father was a private investigator, so we were never allowed to tell anybody what my dad did because we didn't want to blow his cover. He would actually go in undercover into places and get video of people doing things.
Yeah, I do that too, and it is kind of a risk for me to kind of say that, but I figure not that many people are probably going to see this. You know, it's not going to be broadcast to the universe in general, I hope. It's unlikely. It's unlikely that, you know, it would be quite a coincidence.
That the people you're following would be the kind of people.
It's not like I'm some big famous investigator.
I'm hearing myself coming back through
It's
your
unlikely.
speakers.
You know, I mean, there's always. Oh.
Can you plug your headset in?
So should I try
don't
putting on the headset instead?
Yes.
I'm going to try. I'm afraid something's going to stop working.
We have gotten a little gun shy with all of the issues that this Google Hangouts has had.
Yeah. Yeah. Technical issues. How's that?
That's much better. Thank you. Sometimes you
Is that
can't
working?
even.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
I can
good.
hear you. So, tell us how you first became. Well, maybe. Yeah, tell us first how you became a SkipAHolic.
I think that story really goes back to my love for wildlife. I volunteered for a local native animal rescue organization for about 10 years. I actually started with a different organization that, oh, it looks like Monica's joining us. I started with a different organization that had the animals in smaller cages and didn't do release. They just kept them when they couldn't be kept as pets any longer, and I didn't like that. So I sought out another organization that was more along the lines of rehab and release, and that's the one I volunteered for 10 years. I didn't work with a lot of mammals. It was mostly seabirds and just local small blackbirds and stuff and baby birds, and not the real exciting thing for me, because what I like is more along the lines of carnivores and cats and stuff, but it was still really rewarding. So I had an interest, and that's how I came to follow Big Cat Rescue on Facebook. So then when we got word that there had been a bobcat found by the side of the road, and people were rushing to try to save him and find a vet, and that's when I started following along with the story of Skip's rescue. So eventually, once he had been brought back and the webcam was set up, then I started watching him on, oh, there we lost Monica. Started watching him on Ustream, and that's how I became a member of the group, which formed out of that group of people who were kind of dedicated. It so happened that at the time when Skip was rescued, I was homesick in bed with pneumonia.
Oh, wow.
So I spent weeks, I was out of commission for a good 10 days, couple weeks. So it was completely coincidental with that time period when you guys first rescued Skip that I had nothing else to do. So I was just at home watching the webcam all day.
And that's what really helped us with Skip, is that
looks like Monica.
Yeah, she keeps trying. I keep putting up there on the board or in the chat room for her to just call me on my phone, and I can at least get her voice in here. What helped us so much with Skip is that there were a lot of you that were either working from your homes or you're all in different time zones. Some people were sick, like you were sick, and so you were there a lot. And so he had people watching him 24/7, and that really helped when we needed to be able to keep an eye on him and yet didn't want to be stressing him out by being there right in the room with him. Hello, Maria Bartholomew.
Well, it was really my pleasure to be able to help. Hopefully she can get hooked up so we can have more than just me. But it was really my pleasure to be able to help. I mean, it was a privilege,
Maria, can you say something and let us see if we can hear you?
I see a little blue.
We seem to be audio challenged today.
How about now?
Yes. Yes, I hear you now.
I heard that.
Wonderful. Right. And when did you first become a SkipAHolic?
I actually saw the notice go out that you were going to pick him up.
It was the very beginning.
Yeah, I was there from
all
the
together
very
now.
first night.
Yay!
Well, that's like me.
I think I hear Monica, too. Monica, is that your voice that keeps saying yay?
Yep.
Maybe not.
Yes.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, I can hear her, too.
We just can't see you, but we can hear you. If you go up to that little gear and select video, you may be able to choose the video that's actually looking at you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
And I had a staff meeting right before the show came on here. So I didn't have a chance to pull up Skip's record. Does anybody remember what year that was? That Skip
2010.
2010. And I'm thinking Ustream was probably pretty new at that time, and I think he was the first cat that we had ever asked you guys on Facebook to monitor. Do you remember if that was the case?
It was the first one that I remember.
As I recall, there were like thousands of views of Skip in those early weeks, and you guys, hey, I see your face, Monica. Well, I did for a minute there.
I did. I saw Maria. there we go.
This was the original moment it
I can.
started.
When you say
Can you hear me?
when you say this was the original moment it started, what do you mean?
Oh,
Oh,
did
perfect.
not work. There it goes. Well, okay. I found the original post from December 28th. It says, Bobcat needs emergency vet. Hit by car in Mount Plymouth at noon. Now in a carrier in a garage. Jamie is on her way from Tampa, but is 2 hours away. I've called 10 local vets, and no one will treat the cat for shock until
Wow,
we
that just
arrive.
gave me chills hearing that again.
If you know
and
a vet between
reliving
Mount
that.
Plymouth and Tampa, please call them and ask if they will treat the cat till we get there.
That's crazy.
Rebecca, I hear your cat giving his 2 cents, her 2 cents there.
Yeah, she's talking to me.
Maria, before you joined us, I had asked Rebecca about her background and what she does and how it was that she came to be watching Skip. So can you tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how it was you came to be watching?
I actually hadn't been working for a few years. I had gone into a deep depression and wasn't talking to anybody, but I was always interested in cats. So Skip kind of came along and gave me a chance to, get out and not get out, but to talk to people more. So I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting at home feeling sorry for myself, and he really brought me out of that.
That is such an amazing story. There are so many amazing stories that were brought together by this one bobcat that it makes me get all teary-eyed even thinking about how he touched so many lives.
He did.
He really did. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean, for me, it was, I had been away from wildlife rescue for literally decades. And this is something I really love, but I just had moved on in my life. I was busy working. I had been a student for a long time, and then I was working, and I just didn't feel like I had time. So by being able to remotely volunteer for Big Cat Rescue, it brought that back into my life in a way that's, it's that part of myself that was unfulfilled. And now I might get involved with the local rescue that has the baby bobcat that I'm going to be delivering the heartbeat toy to. I'm going to see if there's anything I can do for them. So that would be fantastic.
Did you already get the toy?
I mean, it should be showing up in the mail tomorrow. I ordered it today. 2 days, as in 1-2, not today.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting it to show up tomorrow, and I'm going to get it to them right away because obviously the kitten needs it ASAP. So I'm going to see if there's something I can do for them maybe. I'm pretty busy, but maybe there's something I can do. So that's pretty exciting too.
I love those heartbeat toys.
Yeah, I hope.
One, didn't he? Or Gator.
As I tell you,
Rufus had one.
how many?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
People keep switching in and out. Okay, there we go. There's Carole back.
Yeah, I think the internet connection is probably pretty difficult since we're spanning like the country here.
Yeah, because I'm in California.
Thank you for doing this so early out there.
Oh, it's okay. My boss is probably wondering where I am, but we won't tell him. He's not into wildlife rescue, so he'll never see this.
Oh, yeah.
So have you guys been watching Precious?
I have.
Maria, where are
Is
you?
she actually?
West Virginia.
Oh, well, yes.
I was actually the youngest
I actually did.
employee in West Virginia.
Oh, really?
The youngest state employee. I worked for Governor Rockefeller when he first took office. My father was his pilot, Governor Archmore, for many years.
Huh.
And then when Governor Rockefeller took over, he sold all of the state planes and bought helicopters, and my father couldn't fly a helicopter. So my father ended up coming back to Florida, but then I took a job in Rockefeller's office as the secretary to his secretary.
Oh, wow.
So at that time, I was 15 years old. I'd already left home when I was 15.
Wow.
That's neat. Yeah, I was with Precious that entire first night.
Oh, how sweet. Man, she has been such a comeback story.
She has. That first night,
Yeah.
I went to bed, I think, at 8 o'clock in the morning. And
Wow.
I just knew when I woke up that she was going to be gone. And then I woke up and she wasn't. It was great. I cried when I saw the video of her walking around her enclosure. That was wonderful.
Wasn't that absolutely amazing?
That was really touching for. That was really touching for me too. It was really moving because my mother had a stroke.
Yeah.
My mother had a severe stroke, and it felt a lot. It reminded me a lot of how my mother was. She actually was in a coma, but once she came out of the coma, just watching Precious brought back a lot of memories of that for me. So I know I'm not the only person with a family member that's had a stroke, but it felt really personal.
Wow.
Uh-oh, we lost Monica.
Yeah, Monica left us.
Well, maybe she can call me on
Hopefully
the phone.
she'll
At
be
least
back.
we'll have her on the. In fact, while I'm thinking of this, I'm going to email her my phone number.
Yeah, she said her internet connection was sketchy.
Oh, did she? Oh, there she is again.
Good.
I hear typing. Jamie has asked me to see if I can hook up some kind of a webcam out in Precious's cage, because she had reached a point where, and you guys probably know this because you've been watching her, but she had reached a point where she wasn't getting any better. She was able to stand up and get water and turn around, but because she was in the cat hospital cages, they were so small, she wasn't really getting to walk. And so that's why we started taking her outside on the harness and, you know, supporting her back end with that blanket to try and move her around. But the last 2 days, she has been out in her cage all day. And last night, we actually left her out overnight, and it started raining as I was leaving yesterday. So we had put one of the portable dens in there to make sure that she could get out of the rain if she wanted to. And I went in and helped her get in there the first time so that she knew it would be dry. But she managed to get back out of the den when it quit raining, so we felt pretty good about leaving her out all night. Plus, anytime we go, if we get anywhere close to her, she'll get up and move away from us. So we felt good about the fact that if there were other animals that might come up and bother her, like rats or something at night, that she could get away if she needed to, and I think that she can. But I'd love to be able to put a webcam out there where you guys could really let us know what's going on with her. It's just she's kind of at the far end of a building and then further out than what I can reach right now. So I've got to kind of cable stuff together to see if I can rig something up that far out.
Yeah, we'd keep an eye on her.
Yeah, I mean, we would totally want to watch her. Yeah.
I think it would be very helpful to us if we can do that. We've been putting those trail cams on her. Some of the video that you guys saw of Skip, like when he was in his cage, those night vision cameras, those have like a little chip.
Like the kind that is activated when there's movement?
Right. Right. So you would only see what's happening if something was moving, but still, that's what we're kind of looking for anyway.
Yeah, you could tell when she
Although-
was in that cage, she would just lay there.
Yeah, I kind of think it might be good to know if she's not moving, though. So maybe it's better to get one that's on all the time.
Well, that's true. That's true. And, you know, it's such a hard thing to tell because when they're that old, she's over 20 years old, they sleep all day. So
Yeah.
it's kind of normal for them to be
Yeah.
asleep.
Right. Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
actually mentioned, they were like, she sleeps a lot. And I was like, well, she's really old. So she's going to sleep a lot.
And she's a cat, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
they sleep 2/3 of their life anyway.
Maria, do you have cats at home?
I see it
I
as cat.
One. I have one cat. She weighs enough for 3.
What's her
But
name?
yeah, just one. She doesn't enjoy other
Oh.
cats.
And Rebecca, I didn't ask you your cat's name.
What's her name, Maria?
Heidi.
My cat's name is Heidi. Yeah, see, Maria knows. Everybody knows my cat's name.
I take it that means you talk about her a lot in the chat room.
Oh, I think everyone's seen just a couple pictures of her.
Yeah. We see pictures of Heidi on Facebook all the time.
She's a very frequently photographed cat. All the time.
Yeah.
You guys
Usually
did-
sleeping.
You guys didn't know each other before you became SkipAHolics, did you?
No.
So has your relationship
No.
grown? Obviously, it's grown since then if you didn't know each other at all before. But how would you say that being a SkipAHolic or being involved in being the SkipAHolics has increased your family?
It's amazing. I'll let someone else talk.
It was pretty nice because, like I said, I wasn't doing anything, so I talked to my family and that was about it. So having the, SkipAHolics, they're like, a lot of them became like good, close friends.
I think that's such
Yeah,
an amazing... No, go ahead.
I've found friends through that group that are really better friends to me than a lot of the people I know from real life. It's been phenomenal. I am just continue to be really impressed and just moved by, what good hearts these people have and what good friends they are. Not all of them, not all the time, obviously, but some of the people that I've come to know through this group, I really feel safer around than my friends that I know from day-to-day life. It's touched me really deeply on a lot of occasions.
That's so beautiful to hear. I see somebody else is trying to join us here, Lydia Elaine. Can you hear us, Lydia?
I'm not sure who that is, actually.
Yeah, you guys all have these different
gone now.
handles that you use in the Ustream chat room, and I don't really know what handle goes with what person. I'm guessing that there's like one that has Luann's name in, I think. So maybe tell us your handle, unless that's a secret.
You
Well,
want
we
to go
have
first?
a list. That helps. I'm, what is my name? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking out. What's my name?
Somebody is like Lullaby, I think, in their name.
How embarrassing.
I'm Queen of Kings.
Oh, really?
Well, there's laundry bleach.
Is that
Yeah.
you?
That's Colleen.
I'm, gosh, what is my name?
Does anybody
Yeah,
know
laundry
how she
bleach
got
is
laundry
bleach is
bleach?
Colleen. Oh my gosh. She kind of explained it, but it wasn't really an explanation. She just said she thought it was funny. It'll come to
Becca,
me.
you don't
I
remember
can't
your
believe I'm
kid's
blanking
name?
out on that right now. I should. I mean,
Yeah, you totally should. That's bad.
You'll have to
oh
log
my
into
gosh,
the
I feel like
Ustream.
an idiot right now. I have it saved on my computer. I'm gonna look.
I just looked it up. It's Mitsu63.
I have the document from the group saved. Of course it is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I just looked it up on the Facebook page.
That's because I had a cat I named Mitsu because yeah, thank you, Maria. Now I'm the big dummy here. I had a cat I named Mitsu because she was a white cat that had 3 black spots, and she was a stray with kittens that we rescued and took in off the street. And in Japanese, when you count to 3, it's shitotsu, futatsu, mitsu. Mitsu's 3, so I named her for her 3 black spots. So I've taken that name and used it as my name on the internet in more than one place, so I really should have remembered that.
Poor Monica can't stay. Her internet's bad.
I was really
Yeah.
hoping she'd join me here in the office today, and at
Oh,
least
that
we would
sucks.
make sure there'd be somebody that would be on the line, because it's
Yeah.
always a challenge to try and get these things hooked up. Maria, you
Because-
logged on right away. Is this something that you've done before with other types of Google Chats?
No. Yeah, I just followed the link, and for some
Follow
reason,
directions.
Google Plus in the past, I was like, oh, it's right there. So it was really
It
easy. I
just
just
worked.
followed the link.
Well, that's nice.
At least it worked for somebody.
Yeah.
When I first joined in, Maria, when I first joined, my webcam was showing all these bright green and orange colors.
It was quite psychedelic.
Yeah, I bet. That sounds fun.
It was pretty. It was pretty surreal.
How much time a day do you
Monica
think?
knows a lot of the history.
Yeah, I wish she would call me on my cell phone. At least we could have her audio on here. I keep posting for her to call me. I'm going to do it again. Monica, call me. My
Yeah.
number is over here in the chat room, if you can hear me.
Yeah, Monica knows a lot of the background.
Hopefully she will. I mean, we were all there, but it's not like we were committing every event to memory or writing it all down. So, I mean, I think everyone here was there from the beginning with Skip. But it's been more than Skip, that's the thing. I mean, it's been, remember Chloe?
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I
watched
remember
Chloe
watching
after she
Chloe
had a
wake
procedure
up.
done, right before she passed. Yeah. I bought one of the necklaces that has her face on it.
Aww.
Wow. And definitely Rufus.
Yeah.
You guys all helped so much with Rufus and with all of the seizures that he had. That was such a important thing.
Yeah.
Maybe this is her. If not, you're going to be hearing one of my calls.
Wow, what's that? Oh, that must be a phone call
It
coming
sounded
in.
like a lion.
Hi, this is Carol.
It sounded like, I'm not sure.
Hey,
what-
Monica, you're on Cat Chat. Let me turn you all the way up here. Okay, can you guys hear her? Say something.
Hello.
Hi.
Yep.
All right.
Hi, Monica.
Okay.
Everybody somebody was saying that you are kind of like the keeper of the history of Skip, and you were telling us about the post when you were lost to us there, the first post when Skip first got involved. So can you kind of run us through the history of how the SkipAHolics got started?
Wow. I don't remember the exact time frame it took from the time that Jamie brought back Skip. I'm looking at a photo here that you had posted actually on VCR's site on September 16th of Skip in his squeeze cage with his green glowing eyes. And it wasn't too soon after he got back that when Ustream started up, and I watched on Ustream but not participated in the chat part. I was caring for my grandmother at the time in my house under hospice, so I used it as something for her and I to sit and watch, but I really didn't participate.
So you were just lurking, huh?
Yes, I was just a lurker. And it gave me something to occupy my mind. And the next thing, I guess everybody kind of had the conversation of when Ustream was offline, how could we still stay connected? And Kim and Lisa and Catherine, I think, were the first three that created the SkipAHolic page. And I'm
so
not
was
sure.
that a Facebook page?
The Facebook page, yes.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember how we came up with the word SkipAHolic. It's just one of those.
There was some debate about that.
Phrases we caught on to.
There was. A lot of people were afraid of the negative connotation of being an aholic. I remember
I personally didn't care for it, but I was going to go along with whatever the group wanted to do. It's not my favorite
And
terminology to kind of.
Once we realized that the group was not just United States, it wasn't just Florida, it was the whole world, and Skip was being watched 24/7. And then we realized, I guess, in one way or another, that when we were watching him, that freed up a person on site so that they didn't have to sit in the hospital and watch Skip. And we were able to be your eyes while everybody else was doing what needs to be done.
That was like the biggest revelation for us, was that there were committed people out there that would actually take notes. And I saw you had posted over here in the chat room where, remember when we were all watching for him to poop?
Yes.
The poop patrol.
Yeah.
Poop patrol.
Yeah. The poop patrol.
Yeah, we were going through all the different things that, as a group of close to 250, what all the different things that we've accomplished and done to help. We may not actually set foot on property, but we're a force to be reckoned with, as many have said before.
Well, that's absolutely true. And we were talking a little bit earlier about how it's so wonderful that you're all in different time zones and you have different schedules. Some of you work days, some of you work nights, some of you work from home. And so it enables us to keep an eye on the animals in the cat hospital 24/7. And we ran into a situation where the bad guys, the people who exploit these animals, had been complaining to the Florida Wildlife Commission. And they were saying that by having Ustream, we were exhibiting the cats. And so for 2 years, we were prohibited from exhibiting the cats until this past, it's probably only been like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, that finally the Florida Wildlife Commission agreed that is
so
not.
That changed.
Yes, that has been changed. And we had to get a special permit.
You started showing Fencer.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We had to go through.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
We had so many meetings that we had to meet with their law enforcement people and their main people and their attorneys, and it just did not make sense. And the point that we were making is, look, these guys are saving these cats' lives. How can you say that that's detrimental to the bobcat? We're all in this for the same reason. We want these animals to be able to go free. And so because of some of the things that you guys documented, we were able to say, look, this cat, like Skip, the reason you were monitoring whether or not he could defecate was because he had that very narrow pelvis canal. And if he couldn't eat fur and feathers in the wild, then he would just go out there and die, and that would be a horrible way to die. So you guys did awesome work in documenting that.
Or like Rufus with his seizures.
Perry at one time had posted.
I know I did.
Skip went on a prowl and was hanging in his cage. He was feeling particularly feisty as the drugs wore off, and really was not supposed to be moving so much.
When he hung from the top of the cage.
So I guess that would be a good example of when we would call and say, Skip's doing this, is that okay?
I suspect that that's when he might have dislodged the screws that ended up with his narrow pelvic canal.
Yeah.
When he was doing all those gymnastics, I kind of think maybe that's when it happened.
Yeah, I agree.
It's too bad.
And yet that's the only way that we would be able to
I did a lot of
monitor
documentation. I was going to say, I know that I did a lot of documentation on Rufus's seizures as well.
That time in the hospital. I think everybody, the first thing when they get up, their first thought is, oh, gotta check who's in the hospital, how they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, I think we lost Monica.
I know a lot of people, I know Rebecca especially, a lot of people documented every time Rufus had an episode.
And that was crucial to us to be able to see how that was
the watching of Rufus. The watching carefully of Rufus.
Actually, we're able to document for you by taking screenshots of what was going on, especially with Gator and his seizures. I unfortunately never was in watching when one of those happened, but I heard that some of them were very scary for the looker. I think Rebecca or Maria, were you guys in there? This Gator?
I was. You mean Rufus, right?
Yeah, she meant Rufus.
Yeah, I did a lot of watching, and what I was starting to say is that for me personally, watching Rufus and really carefully documenting his seizures and exactly what happened is very similar to what I do in my job. So that's part of why you saw the really detailed posts from me with a detailed description of exactly the time and exactly what happened. It wasn't like extra work for me.
Harder on her writing the book about Skip?
I'm sorry, could you hang on a minute, Monica?
Know that.
Okay.
I didn't hear the rest of what Rebecca was saying there. There's a real long lag between us and California, apparently, so when Monica starts talking, then you don't hear her for a few seconds.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying that... Oh, what's that? I was just saying that... Is that a call coming in?
If it is, I can't take it because I've already got one.
Okay. So I was just saying that with Rufus and documenting his seizures, it was easy for me to automatically go into that mode because it's what I do at my job. So I was able to, when I was working at home, just have my report that I was writing up on I have 2 monitors. So I had my report on my main monitor, and then I would take the webcam for Rufus and put it on my secondary monitor, and just had a sheet of paper there, exactly like what I do when I'm working. So it's second nature to me. I kind of felt like, wow, maybe my documentation looks overly detailed, but it's really the same thing as what I do when I'm watching someone. You know, I write down exactly the movements they make and the exact times and all that. So I just applied those skills directly to watching Rufus. You know, hopefully it was helpful.
It was very helpful. What did you start to say, Monica?
Good.
I wasn't one of those that was fortunate or unfortunate, actually, to see Gator and his seizures. But I know the screenshots of that helped you guys immensely and Dr. Lynn in that respect. And I was just asking if Rebecca or Maria, if either one of them were in there during that time period.
And I think you mean Rufus again, not Gator. I don't remember Gator ever having a seizure.
Yeah. Gator's free and wild.
So how about you, Maria? Did you ever actually witness any of those seizures?
I didn't see any of the seizures. I was there a lot, but I would happen to miss them. Thank goodness.
Oh.
How about you, Rebecca?
Huh. I saw so many. I mean, that's interesting for me to hear that Monica and Maria both did not, because I saw so many of which were minor, smaller ones, but, you know, I kind of thought that was a shared experience we all had. So that's interesting to hear that that's not the case.
I mean, I didn't see any of, like, the big ones, but like,
that was during a time period.
Doing those really tight circles. I saw that a few times.
Mm-hmm. Those were, I think, yeah. I mean, some of that stuff, because he would start to circle and then he would kind of stumble, and, you know, those were when he was going into some of the more minor seizure-type activity, yeah. I think. But it was upsetting to watch, you know, but it needed to be done. So.
Absolutely, it needed to be done.
And I think that's where, you know.
Him. Rufus was really hard to watch. It was sad.
Yeah.
Did you guys love that drawing that Christina Hess did of Rufus as Elvis? I just loved that.
I don't think I've seen that.
I think we saw part of it, but I don't think we ever saw the finished product.
Oh, wow. Well, it should be out soon, so I'll see if I can get her permission to post that. And I can hear talking on my phone. Is that you, Monica?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
No. Well, no, I'm listening to what you guys are saying because it wasn't playing in my headset.
Oh, okay. And we can see a frozen picture of you talking on the phone. Oh, no, you're actually moving, so we can see you now. I just don't hear you yet on Google Hangouts. Were you guys at the reunions that they did here?
Were we what?
Did you guys come in for the reunions that the SkipAHolics have had here?
I came to the first one when we were able to meet Skip.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty neat because it was the double window, and I got right down in his face, and it felt like he was looking right in my eyes. It's something I'll never forget.
Wow. Wow.
We have a picture of that on the...
That's amazing that you got to have that experience.
Fuzzy Britches memorial page. Donna Coffrey, I think, posted it.
Posted what?
Yeah, I started the Fuzzy Britches memorial page.
Oh.
And is that page
yeah, that
still
was a real shock when he...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're right, Rebecca. That was a horrible shock.
I haven't been able to make it out there. Yeah, and I ended up having to notify one of us here in California, another one of our fellow SkipAHolics, Lynette, who also lives in California. We had made arrangements to meet that day because she was traveling through my area where I live. And I had gotten the news that morning, I think, or it was sometime just before, like a couple hours before I was going to meet her, and I was talking to her on the phone about, like, okay, I'll see you at X o'clock and we'll meet at this and this a place, and I already knew, I had already gotten the news, but I didn't say anything to her until I saw her in person. And then I ended up having to tell her, I ended up telling her, like, on a street corner, which felt terrible.
Awful.
But she needed to know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awful.
And we still don't have any results. We sent
Kind of put a
the
damper on things.
necropsy out to a number of different labs, and they couldn't tell us anything. And we sent it out to, I think, the university in Texas, and then it's finally now parts of his brain are being studied out in the University of Davis, I think, in California, and they have like this huge long study that they're doing to see if they can determine anything, not just because of the fact that he died, but the fact that all of these other labs looked at it and they can't figure out why he died.
That's weird.
It's just so weird.
Wow.
And,
I was just wondering about that the other day.
So whatever.
We have Cecelia Curtis.
There she is.
Are you talking? Because I can't hear you, Cecelia.
There she is.
I see her too.
Yeah, we can hear you whispering.
Sorry, I'm at work. I just wanted to test the site and see if I could get in.
You're in.
I am.
You're in.
It works. Thank you. I'll just listen now.
No, tell us about you. Tell us about your experience as a
You can
SkipAHolic.
speak.
My
People are making noises in my house.
They're saying, let us out. That's much better. I can see your whole face now. Before I was only catching the top of your head.
Cecelia, do you want to talk about your experience as a SkipAHolic?
In the hospital, or have they been so destroyed?
Oh no, the skip beds get used all the time. We have a pile of them in the closet thanks to you guys. And it's funny how this, I don't even know what the real name of that bed is, but everybody calls them skip beds here.
Carole, can you hear me now?
Someone sent them to
That's kind of funny.
another webcam that I watched. They sent them to a cat rescue. And I was like, oh, they sent skip beds. And everybody was like, what is a skip bed?
Okay, Cecelia, can you tell us when you started watching Skip on, I'm assuming you started with Skip, or when you became a SkipAHolic?
I had been liked your page, and I was home recovering from a surgery, and that's when your page that there was the Bobcat rescue, and so then I started watching from one, and the Big Cat Rescue is just awesome. It really made a big difference in my life, and I was just, it kind of saved me because I was bedridden, and it just was wonderful.
Wow.
And, I'm sorry though, I've been watching Precious, and I watched Fencer, so, but I'm wondering who else is in the room, chat room.
We have Monica Spires on my phone here. That's why I'm holding my phone up. It's not that I'm showing off my new phone. We have Rebecca and Lynn and Maria.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, nice to see you guys. if you can hear me.
I don't think Lynn is with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
I can hear you.
We had Lynn before, and then we lost her.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
have to next Wednesday take my lunch early and go to a place that's a little more friendly for because I'm in a room, almost a closet. So, but I'll say goodbye and nice meeting you all. And I'm really happy that I was able to figure this out. Bye.
So are we.
It's good to see you.
So you guys have a good day.
Thank you.
And
you too.
Thank you.
You too. It's good to see you.
Bye-bye. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye.
I love technology.
I know, right?
This is only going to get easier. Okay, somebody say something. Make sure I didn't mute everybody.
I can still talk.
Okay, good.
I was wondering.
I muted Cecelia when I heard all that scratchiness from her trying to carry her computer back out. There we go.
Monica, do you want to give some more history of what we've done as a group?
Are you with us, Monica?
Yes, I am.
I don't know if you heard, Rebecca was asking if you could give any more of the history of the group, how it progressed.
Okay. Kind of the things we've done.
Well, as far as things that the group has done, goodness. The group obviously has created some extra advocates on staff that we come on property versus just online helping, which obviously I think they're both equal.
Oh, I agree. You know, I think the people who are helping from afar are helping us every bit as much as the people who actually come out here and clean cages. You became a on-site advocate, though. I'm thinking after you got involved with Skip, right?
We did a lot of on-site Skip fundraising. We did close to $1,500 in plants at one time, and we did all that planting, and none of us thought to ask, and BCR never asked us, you know, to become a T-shirt advocate. We all just considered ourselves one already, and it wasn't until October that we all actually attended classes to get our gray shirts and to come on property as a advocate gray shirt.
And I'm thinking some of those plants that you guys had donated were
I didn't
those
know they were
big trees.
classes.
Yes, the big oak trees out back, yes.
And all but one of those, I think, lived. That one just kept falling down. That poor tree fell every time there was a windstorm, and we'd stand it back up and it'd fall back down.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, and then, of course, we've...
I didn't know there were classes involved.
If there was any inkling of need that I overheard or, you know, found expressed that, you know, this was needed, then I would come back to the group and say, hey, listen, this is the second year, like right now, it's pumpkin season. Last year we did it. This year it's doing the same thing. Is, you know, getting the word out of, you know, some of these cats haven't gotten a pumpkin yet. So right now I think we're up to close to $150 that I'm bringing over Friday for pumpkins.
And we were just talking about that in our staff meeting. I think maybe you had told Jeff about it because he was saying that there was money in the pumpkin budget because we need some pumpkins right now.
So, and several people have already contacted me on, well, let me know when we start doing the turkeys and the hens. They want to make sure that everybody gets a turkey. So it's just something nice to be able to do for the cats. It's I think it brings on a little more different feeling when you get to do that.
And Rebecca said she wasn't aware that there were classes for the advocates. What kind of classes did you have? Because I don't even know. What kind of classes did you have to take to be an advocate?
Oh, well, we had to go through person first aid, and we had to learn about big cat first aid. We had to learn about procedures for radio. Then to an on-site advocate, we get the opportunity to be a backup on tours, which entails a class on learning the ins and outs of a tour and what your job is as a backup, learning how to man the gate and open and close them. So once we figured all that out and had that done, then we were what they considered official advocates. We could then do our time
And so the difference between like an advocate and a SkipAHolic that's not an advocate would be that the SkipAHolics can't just come out onto the property, but even the advocates have to call ahead and say, well, probably not true for Monica because she's out here all the time, but most of the other advocates have to call and say, hey, I'm available this Saturday. Do you have any work that I could do? Because we can't just have people show up and try to put them to work because the advocates can't be out there by themselves. But for the most part, they can't be. I think, again, Monica may be an exception to that because she's on and off property so frequently with the inquiry cycling that you took on as kind of your baby. And that's been wonderful that you've kept that going.
Yeah, mostly the gift shop is, I think, the most utilized area for the advocate that does come on property, because there's always something that can be done and needs to be done, or
that's for sure.
So and that's what I tell a lot of the advocates, SkipAHolics that will, message me and say, hey, I want to come and help, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, listen, you don't have to do a lot of hours. If you can, that's great. At one point, I was lucky enough that I was having Wednesdays off from work, so I was able to come over from like 9 in the morning to 9 at night. I'd stay for enrichment on Wednesday night, so I would be able to get my hours in. But that changed, so I wasn't able to come. And enrichment night just makes the hard work of, there have been days that I've been there, and I've even posted on the SkipAHolic group of, oh my goodness, there were 10 groups today at 3 o'clock.
That was probably in like March through May, when it's just crazy here.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to need to go. I have to get back to work.
And we're actually over our hour, I think, so we're going to wrap it up. Maybe as I just go through here, say your name and say goodbye. So we're on you now.
Okay, goodbye, guys.
Bye, Monica.
Bye.
Bye, Monica.
Bye, Monica.
Bye, Rebecca. Bye, Maria.
Okay. Bye, everyone. It was great talking with you.
Good talking to you, too.
Bye, Maria.
Bye.
Bye, Carole.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
This is Carole, and this has been Cat Chat. Please join us online every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, or you can follow us on recordings that have been the on-demand recordings. Those are available at catchatshow.com. Bye-bye.